my mortal enemy, the microphone. Oh, it's attached to the thing. If I yell really loud, can you guys just hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me back there, Matt?
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know what happened to my bio. I wasn't trying to be like snarky. I just don't know what happened to it. Okay.
So tell us now.
From Seattle. I enjoy long walks on the beach. now I'm trying to be snarky. I'm just going to read these poems. The first one is called No Cacho, Soy Gringo. And it's Chilean for I don't understand, I'm a gringo. Really useful if you're ever there. No Cacho, Soy Gringo. Yup, it happened again. The same conversation. I'm always staring at other women. My lechery leaches the self-confidence from the little ball of anxiety that you live inside. Your trust is not a given, it is a gift. These are your exact words, and then I am convinced that everyone in Chile is a poet. Then it's my turn to say, no cacho, soy gringo. Extremely convenient, and at the very least you always laugh. And you cannot blame me that this Latin American country is full of Latina women. And then I hang up on you, not on purpose, but because these two transsexual hookers, the ones that are always on my corner, tried to steal my phone again. And if my head weren't on a swivel, I would have never seen it coming. This next poem is written from the equator. Dear Mom and Dad, today we were in the same hemisphere. Only for a moment, but we were in the same hemisphere. I doubt you noticed. You probably didn't think of me, but I was thinking of you. I was thinking how we were in the same hemisphere again and how you probably didn't notice. I was thinking of you as I took pictures, and I was thinking that I was taking these pictures for you. So when I stood over the equator, straddling each hemisphere and taking pictures, I was also thinking that you'd probably never really look at these pictures. You'd see the pictures, but you'd never really look at them. And that would be okay. The equator really isn't much to write home about anyways. Just a big granite monolith and some yellowing grass. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the equator being underwhelming. I'm okay with you not really looking at the pictures. But today I realize that while you can balance an egg on a nail at the equator, you cannot balance distance and family on anything. The two reside in opposite hemispheres, on two sides of a very real line. Today I realize that I was on the wrong side of that line. Today I realize that I could not cross it soon enough. Your son. This next poem is called Medical Information for American Poets Abroad. If an American poet becomes seriously ill or injured abroad, the locals will not be able to translate their desperate cries for validation. Local hospitals often ask for payment up front and almost never accept the currency of foreign languages. A U.S. consular office can assist in locating the appropriate language and informing contemporaries or mentors of the incident. Be sure to purchase health insurance that may cover up to 10,000 words, as well as evacuation costs when you wear out your welcome. This next poem is called Jose from Puerto Varas. This mountain, he said, and he pointed at it, blew its top. And this mountain, he said, pointing at the next one, is covered in hundreds of tiny little domes, miniature volcanoes. He smiled wide when pointing, flashed his last few teeth to the mountains devouring the horizon, pulled at the neck of his sweater, revealed a rough patch of skin stretching across his collarbone, where the strap of the cooler rested as he hawked ice cream. Cola de tigres, the styrofoam box read, Chululus, choco fruna. Two more here. This next poem is called New Year's in Rio. 1 minute there is dancing and drinking and sand between your sole and your sandal, and the next you are counting. You'd probably start counting late, like at oito, or 8 if you were anything like me. And then the fireworks start exploding, 45 minutes of fireworks. Between the shockwaves that ripple the beach, you realize that the oohs and ahs of a crowd are a universal sound. Just when you think the fireworks are going to end, the fireworks finally end. And when they finally end, you are left dancing to the light of candles dug into holes on the beach. You jump 7 waves and throw flowers into the sea. You make a wish. If you were anything like me, that wish is to sleep with a Brazilian girl that night. But your wish will not come true if you are anything like me. Your flowers will float in the surf and be dragged out and then spit up on shore repeatedly until they are just floppy, saturated petals. The stalks of your flowers will sink, and little lily-white rafts of floppy, saturated petals will wash up a few hundred yards down the beach from your wish. The next day, the petals will stick to your feet, to your sandals, to the saturated, spent cases of firework shells, will fill the holes dug for the now spent candles. Soon the petals will dissolve or be buried in the sand and then dissolve. And when the last of the petals dissolve, the beach full of people and petals will return to being just a beach full of people. This last one is a letter to Nicanor Parra, the anti-poet. Okay. Dear Nicanor, I recently stopped banging my head against the wall. My ears are still ringing. There is a bruise on my forehead in the shape of an atomic bomb. However, since the mark and the bells are finally starting to fade, I guess I owe you this letter. I imagine you falling asleep in your chair reading this. I owe you a great deal more than a letter.